go live. And I think we are live. Let me check all the audio sources. Oscar?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Chris?
Yep.
Cool. All seems to be working great. So we've got sound. Check. Video. Check. We've got 3 Grindelwald Bastards. Check.
Check.
Welcome to tonight's show. It is Tuesday, 8 o'clock. And we are back live with the Grindelwald Bastards show. Of Tuesday, the 30th of November. I think this is episode 41. I'll have to check that later, but I think we're at 41 now. If we don't count the specials, because they're just a whole different ballgame.
Should be much more.
I know.
Week 46 or something. So
yeah, but okay. Let's. Everything's fine. I hear now from Edwin, so that's really good. Thank you very much, Edwin, for that. Okay. Today's show is gonna be a bit of everything as normal. I don't have a set agenda, but we shared amongst each other some interesting links which we can talk about. I do have the turbulence video ready now, which we could take a look at that we didn't take a look at last week, and it was not really. Anyway, I couldn't fix it to put it on the end because it was already live. Doesn't matter. And anyway, I can show it now. And we probably need to talk a little bit about Formula 1 and Frank Williams has died. So maybe we have some memories of that to discuss. And whatever else we can come up with would be fine too. So let me just maybe start by doing the video that we that Chris shared. The last week's story was one of the stories last week was that Chris had a very turbulent flight back from Holland back to Utah, and there is some footage of that he did share with me earlier, and I forgot to prepare last week. So this is
this is after it calmed down. This is me trying to hold the camera with 2 hands.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you can see the guy in front of me is kind of holding onto the seat in front of him still.
Yeah. White knuckled.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, this is after it calmed down a bit, but it's. You can see I'm still having trouble hanging onto the camera. There's a. If you can see any of the liquid in the glasses, it's moving around and.
Yeah, this is still pretty bad, and that was even not the.
And
worst.
This is in a 2-aisle 300-seat airplane. So this is this is a big plane being thrown around in the sky. So yeah, it was exciting.
Yeah, to say the least. Yeah.
So do they anyhow can cease the turbulence nowadays, or is it really trial and error?
The only way they can slow it down is basically to try and fly out of it, to try and go above it or below it, or to try and find a way out of it.
Yeah.
But other than that, there's no really good answer to it.
No, but it's also not possible to see it on the radar or whatever in front.
No, it's clear air turbulence. It doesn't show up on radar. It doesn't show up on Doppler radar. It's
there.
It's just air moving around.
Yeah.
So
it would be the invention of the century to find something for it. Yeah.
It would be nice.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
I think you will just. There's one simple solution: is that you will have a continuous sort of scattering of little reflective pieces of paper that you will just scatter around the whole globe.
Yeah.
And then
and you can see them floating in the air.
You can see the you can see the little reflective particles on the radar probably. So that's probably we should probably.
We should patent that.
Yes, we should patent that. Yes.
Make sure we have a patent for that.
Definitely. You did
before
not.
this goes
All
out
our
live.
viewers
I
did
saw
not
the
hear
feeling
this.
I tip on it.
We were the first. We were the first. Let this be on camera.
Well, it's for sure on camera. Yeah.
Anyway, so that was a little bit of unfinished business from last week.
Yeah. Unfinished business.
Yes. And some definitely finished business is Frank Williams, who passed away this week. I thought just we all being F1 fans, maybe we should just shortly put some thoughts into that. I did see the documentary, the Frank Williams documentary. I think it's on Netflix, could be another channel, which was Netflix, okay, which was very impressive to me anyway, because I knew him and I knew about him, but I did not actually see his whole life story. And it's just amazing. This guy who is sort of a lunatic, but was so passionate about what he did, and just, that passion, that sort of over the top passion was just his drive throughout everything. And the fact that it was
interesting that he ended up in a wheelchair because of his passion.
Yeah. He just did a stupid drive to get to the airport back from a race in France.
And even that didn't slow him down.
No. And he was, of course, very, very stubborn.
Yeah.
So telling him to slow down would just cause the opposite effect, which sort of it did, because the guy that was traveling with him was already scared.
Yeah.
And he thought this is not going to end well in a sort of a rental share. Anyway, so that caused that. But then the whole story after that, his recovery, he was just refusing to die, really, he was refusing a lot of other things, which is Frank Williams. He would just
that was him. That was him all the way through.
Yeah. So that's so telling about the way he was doing things. And then after that, his biggest successes came after that, really. With championships and everything. I heard Damon Hill talking about him too, and it was a little bit of both. He was also a little bit afraid of him when he was his team boss, just because he could be so difficult to talk to, because everything was business and everything had a purpose, and it was not an easy person to be around, I think. But I mean, one of the greats, I think, one of the real characters in Formula One that has now died.
It's a shame that it's not still his team.
Yeah, it would have been better.
It's a shame that it was either last year or this year that they finally got the money and they finally started to do well, but now they're technically not Williams anymore.
No. Yeah. True. Yeah. It's a pity. It might have been a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit better if he was still the owner and sort of Williams died with him. That would have been better maybe. But, there's so much money involved. Anyway, I just thought that we should just shortly talk about that. My memories of Frank were more after that he was in a wheelchair than before that. But he was a real character on the grid or in the pit boxes, and it was just it's just I think from I think his accident was in '86, and in fact, every year after that was a bonus. So, I mean, he could have died there, and he made the best of it. And all this, 30 or 35 years, or 40 years, whatever, after that, was actually just a bonus. So we should not feel sorry for him. I think he had a full life, and he did a lot of things that he wanted to do. And the fact that he could handle that terrible quadriplegic, or even worse, everything from the neck down, I think, that he kept on going for so long, and also just working and making the best of everything. I think that's an example for a lot of other people too. So
Yeah.
So Frank Williams. I think what I heard is that they're gonna do some special things in the coming Grand Prix. I think they fixed up some old Williamses that are gonna drive around the circuit, which is gonna be a tearjerker probably, because I think Damon Hill is driving one. Alan Jones will be there. He's not driving one, and some other Saudi prince is driving one, obviously. That's probably going to be a very epic thing on the circuit. So I don't know what Williams team themselves are going to do with their car, with their livery, maybe.
I would expect there's going to be some black either on the team uniforms or on the car.
Yeah. What would be great, but is most likely impossible because of sponsors, is if they bring back the Rodman's blue and white livery. That's not going to happen because, first of all, cigarettes, second of all, sponsorships. But wouldn't that be a great gesture also from the sponsors? I mean, in a way.
Yeah, I know the FIA allow special liveries once a year, so this might be the chance to do that. I mean, that's how we ended up with the golf color scheme on the draw,
which was great too. I love that scheme too.
So this might be the opportunity.
Yeah, because I think the Rotsman's blue and white, that was Williams for me, and it has always been.
Do Rothmans still exist anymore?
Maybe, I don't know.
Because if the cigarette brand doesn't exist anymore, then it's not cigarette advertising.
No, and then it might be cool. Or maybe just the colors. I don't know. If I was Williams or that team, I would do anything in my powers to make that happen. But we don't know. We'll probably see in a couple of days when everybody's on the circuit. So that's the thing. The other thing is obviously that the whole discussions about Max or Hamilton becoming world champion and what's going to happen in this race. I mean, nobody knows because it's all up in the air, really. But a lot of people think now that Hamilton has a better chance. We discussed it about it. We discussed it last week. But the same discussions that we were having, I'm hearing everywhere. Exactly the same thing. It's just, we don't know. It's a bit of a gamble. We'll see what happens. What I did hear is that people that were on the circuit and drove on the circuit say it's incredibly fast and dangerous because it's a street circuit but with very, very high speeds. So and there are walls everywhere and it's very narrow, and a lot of people are afraid that there will be a lot of damage and crashes and things, because if you crash, your car is totaled probably, because it's just there's no real run out areas and stuff like that. So it's probably going to be a very very epic race to see in many respects. So,
let's put some ideas on the table. How many cars will reach the end of the Grand Prix? That's nice. We can tell it here now. We can do a couple of these things. We can do how many cars will crash.
Mazepin, definitely.
Mazepin, you never know. He might be good at this circuit. I don't know. Well, street circuits are normally, we know who are the good drivers at street circuits. Leclerc, Max. There are some drivers that do that, but this is not a street circuit as Monaco is, or even Baku. They say this is, although it's a street circuit, it's actually more of a normal circuit on streets because it's so fast. Except for no runoff areas. So I don't know. We will see. Tires is a big gamble. Nobody knows right now, and we will just have to wait. But I would say if I had to gamble, no, there is no gamble because we don't know. But if we have to say something, then I think, to be honest, I think Hamilton will win this one.
It would be interesting if he does, because then they will go through to the final race equal on points.
Yeah. Well, that depends where Max finishes. Obviously, if Hamilton wins this one, Max becomes second. That's the case. But if Max is not going to be second, then it's going to be a problem.
If Max wins this race, I think he's won the champion. If he wins the race and gets fastest lap, I think Hamilton can't catch him.
I think Hamilton has to be sixth or something to not be able to catch him. Because if Max does not finish
at the last
part, then Hamilton will catch him.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think everybody's saying he needs to be first and maybe the fastest lap. I don't know about that. And then Hamilton needs to be sixth or behind that. So I don't know.
I think whatever Max is doing, if Hamilton is sixth or lower this race, then already Max will become the champion.
Okay.
So it's nothing to do with Max actually. It's all to do with Lewis.
It's all to do with Hamilton. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But,
did you see they've introduced a new thing with the rear wings? There's a new test they're doing on the rear wings. It's not yet regulatory, but it's going to become regulatory next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Red Bull are still convinced that there's something weird going on.
Yeah.
With the Mercedes rear wing.
Yeah. And we saw last time that steering column move.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dual axis steering column.
Something is happening, but I would think that if there was really a system in the steering column, FIA would pick up on that, wouldn't they? Or maybe there's no regulation for that.
Unless it's something that's being controlled by feet or knees or something, like if he moves his knees in the transmission tunnel.
Yeah.
And it straightens up the steering or something like that.
I don't know.
Because they've definitely done something. You don't just suddenly gain 35 kilometers an hour in a Formula 1 car.
No. Everybody's calling it the rocket. I mean, all the presenters are... Everybody is sort of in... It's difficult for everybody to say, I think they're cheating, because, you can't really say that. But then again, everybody was thinking that...
Because they are, somehow. I mean,
think they are.
They found some loophole, but nobody knows what it is yet.
No. So that's another thing that might cause some really weird stuff in the next two races. You never know what's going to happen, but this is going to be the most exciting, whatever happens. This is going to be the most exciting 1 or 2 races ever, probably, that I know of. And that's a good thing in itself. Another thing I heard today was listening to the podcast of F1 Nation. They had a talk, a lengthy talk, with some sort of psychologist guy who is helping racers. He's an Italian guy. He's called Ricciardo, but his first name is Ricciardo. And he was talking about drivers. And, I'm not going through the whole thing. You have to probably watch or listen to the F1 Nation podcast this week's actually. But he said that, mentally, Max is one of 2 of the strongest drivers mentally that he has ever seen. Yeah. And that is Kubica and Max. He said they are so strong and they are so in control of, they know what they can and can't do, and they're so in control and not influenced by things, that he thought that those 2 drivers are the most mentally strong drivers that he has ever seen. And he's also talking about some drivers are sponges and others are not. And he thinks Hamilton is much more influenced by his environment. He says, if you look at, Hamilton with his clothes and with his assistant and with his he is really around him. The whole situation around him is very important to him, and it helps him perform, and he needs that to be appreciated and to be put on that pedestal. He needs that to be to perform. He said Max doesn't need that at all. We have never seen Max's personal assistant or whatever. Max is just doing his own thing. He blocks his mind and he just goes for whatever he thinks is important. He said there are 2 very, very different characters. He said, and I'm not putting any judgment on that, but it's just that they are very different in how they work. And he feels that Max has a good chance because the pressure for Max is a lot less because of that, and also because he's the runner-up. He needs to be first world champion. Then it is for Hamilton, who has everything to lose. And that, combined with his spongy mental state, might be putting him over the edge, and he might make a mistake or do something really stupid that Max can help Max also in gaining. So all these things, everybody's looking at all these little things to find out who's going to win this, but it's also going to be a factor of luck or bad luck that's going to be at play. If somebody hits Max or somebody hits Hamilton, then the whole thing changes again. So we'll see, but it's interesting. We will
forward to the next 2 weeks. Weekends.
Definitely. Yeah. Is it? It's end to end, isn't it? This. The next. Okay. So the last two. Well. Yeah. Interesting stuff. So.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be fun. Okay. Then during the week, we have our own WhatsApp group, obviously, and sometimes when I'm going on the internet, I see something that might be of interest to us, but also to the show, and we just share some well, not random, but some interesting links. And I think we might go through some of these to just talk about that a little bit. And one of the first things that I saw was this
Lego furniture.
Lego furniture.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's full circle now. It's like building a table out of Lego, or and now they're building a Lego table. It's gone really
it's
really.
Like you've got Lego, and then you've got Duplo, and now you've got furniture.
Yeah. Yeah, I know there's a building that's also Lego, but so that was quite interesting. I know there are storage boxes that Lego already has. That's a little bit like what you're seeing here, but it's more like plastic playfuls to just keep your Legos in. But this is this could go a lot of ways, because it's also multifunctional, because you can stack them and you can combine them and make all kinds of it can go bigger than this, obviously. I haven't seen the whole thing, but if I look at the slideshow, we can probably look at some more items here. Some things for on the wall, some Lego bricks as to hang your stuff on, Lego picture frames.
That's actually cool.
It's really cool. It's really cool. Yeah. I like this too.
They probably look like the windows.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they do.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's probably going to be really terribly expensive, but it is cool. I mean, just the 1x1s is also really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And then obviously this one that we saw before. Yeah. So there's a world of opportunities that we can...
would actually be great if the points on the top are to use for what is it? Putting your mobile phone on top of it for
like a charging pad,
like a charger. Yeah.
That would be cool. And then obviously we need a Lego phone, just a really bricky, with a big antenna on it. That would be cool too. Yeah.
Oh, that would be nice.
It would be. I think it would sell. I mean, all these things will sell for crazy prices. So we should probably just make something, and then put it on Instagram. Ask 1,999 euros for it, and people will probably buy it. So anyway, so that's the thing we saw. Then another thing that I saw coming by, and it's a little bit sort of the same as we saw before. It's a little van, but we saw one with a pickup bed. It's slightly different, and this one is a van, like a taxi van. But it's 60 or 70 euros, I think. But it just looks great. I don't know. It just looks fun, and you can drive it pretty fast. You can drift with it. It has some really nice suspension. Let me skip through this a little bit. Oh yeah, he's driving it on the table because it was really bad weather outside. But it's just it's just a playful little thing with lights on it, and you can put figures in it, and you can do everything with that. Obviously, I was just a fun little van to do.
I think it's one size bigger than the white.
I'm not sure. Sure. It's 1/10. Yeah, it's bigger. Yeah, I think the other one was 1/18 scale or something.
Yeah,
I agree. But it's just I don't know, but it's just one of these things that I like. It just looks fun, and it looks scale. The wheels I think look very good because that's what the Japanese little fans without just the steel wheels are like. And they just do a very good job at doing that. Oh, there it goes. Anyway, I thought that was something. I just shared that because I thought it was really fun. And just something nice to play with. Then another thing that was shared by Chris, I think, and I really like this. I've seen stuff like this, but not exactly like this. This is
really interesting. So,
it is. Yeah. It is.
You get to see his train of thought. You get to see sort of the evolution of his machines.
Yeah.
And he's done ones for crossing gaps, climbing slopes, climbing flagpoles. Yeah. And it's interesting to see how the design evolves as he goes through each iteration of machine. And he does ones that climb slopes. He does ones that climb over books and climb up overhanging walls and things.
Yeah.
He's done this one for crossing gaps. The end solution to the crossing the gap one is amazing, where he basically builds a mobile bridge.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one that he builds for climbing like an overhang is this vehicle that has 2 pivot points in the chassis that he can fold the whole vehicle in half and sort of wrap one end of it over the top of it and then claw its way up.
And look at this one.
Yeah, this is the.
But and
then how he just sort of pushes it forwards.
Yeah. He just shifts it forwards.
They actually have this kind of machines in real life to build bridges, etc.
Yeah.
I know when they built the Milo Viaduct in France, they basically did this.
Yeah.
But not with Lego.
Yeah. No.
Quite nice engineering. Yeah.
Well,
it's fun to watch the whole video to see how he builds up.
Exactly. What is crucial is that you will. I mean, when you start this video, you will watch it to the end because you really need to know what is next. And I really love exactly what you're saying. There is train of thought, and it's the same as what I would have been doing. If you build something, doesn't work, you change it, still doesn't work.
Experiment, change, fail.
And it's got basic engineering things in it. You have to know a little bit about, basic stuff. But then that's the fun with Lego. That's exactly the fun with Lego. You just build something, doesn't work, you change it, you test it until it works, and then you up the ante. So you got it working, and then you think, but now we wanted to go further, and then you move it all the way along, and you end up with something really great. And there's a whole row of these types of films, of movies, where I think this is
climbs a flagpole.
This is
these ones. This is one where he ends up with it folding, and then the ultimate version of this, it has 2 pivots in it, so it can fold in 2 different places.
Yeah, it will drive. Yeah, it's amazing that it works. I would never imagine this to be working, but it does. And then he shows that it's going wrong, and then he tries it again, and in the end he says it didn't work in one go because he's got 2 or 3 pivots that he can all manually move.
Yeah.
And it has to be he has to take care of all the the gravity things and everything and make it work. But it's cool. This is a channel.
You almost imagine this is the sort of guy who should be a robotics engineer for NASA.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, maybe he is.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, maybe that's the fact. Well, it does remind me of that time when I worked at Philips when I was still at school doing my like internship, and they asked me to come up with a machine for some specific thing they wanted to do in the production line of their video rotor motors, and I built something out of Lego, and I made as a proof of concept. And I brought that into Philips, and they were just like, this is great, just the fact that I was doing that and thinking about it that way, and I actually came up with a solution to the problem built out of Technics Lego. Yeah. That's just so cool, and this is sort of the same thing,
Same sort of idea,
and it's so cool. So yeah, just I'll link to that channel. It's called Brick Experiment channel.
Yeah, he has some really, really excellent videos.
There is so many videos that I can watch this for hours. Just so many cool stuff. Also with I'm not showing it, but you have to go and watch it. He made he wanted to test how fast, how many RPMs he could have a Lego wheel turn. So he starts out with a motor and a wheel, and it's, I don't know, 200 RPM. Then he puts two gears, cogs in it, and then it's 500 RPM. And it goes up and up. And then he runs into problems with vibrations and stuff. And he solves that with more wheels from both sides to make it sort of even. And then he comes all the way up to, I don't know, 5,000 RPM, the crazy things that goes faster and faster, and then
he's built a machine that he used to twist a piece of aluminium in half.
Okay.
Out of Lego. So he built this device where he could clamp a piece of aluminium and generate enough torque that he could twist the aluminium into two pieces.
Yeah.
He built a paper shredder.
Yeah.
And again, it's this experiment. The paper shredder starts off as two cogs, and that's it.
Yeah.
And what it ends up as is just, crazy.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Just follow this guy, go watch him, because it's fabulous.
Yeah, really interesting, really fun videos to watch.
Really great.
Did you on getting speed something completely different? Did you guys see? I did not share it. It was, I think, on a science channel at Facebook or whatever, a team of researchers who actually make a rotary thing where they can launch satellites with.
Yes, spin launch.
Launch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's a big device that spins and spins and spins and then throws the satellite straight up.
Yeah.
Is it true, or is it
no, it's true. There's like a 10-minute documentary on it. The one they built is 1/5 scale. The full scale one is, now the 1/5 scale one has been shown to work. They're going to build the full size one.
Okay.
And obviously you have to, you can't put people in it, but for launching satellites and things, it's going to be interesting to see if they manage it.
Yeah, I think they said it's up to 2 kilograms of stuff or something. They could just launch by the rotationary.
On the small scale one, the full size one will spin much faster, and they'll be able to get a satellite into orbit.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
The biggest challenge for them is because it's spinning, and it has to let go of the payload at a certain point. Their biggest challenge is timing the exact point that they sort of release, so the payload goes up and doesn't just destroy itself on the inside of the centrifuge.
Yeah, because we've seen those videos too, where people try and launch something and it just goes into the ground.
And they're talking about sub-millisecond accuracy for letting go of the thing.
Yeah, I can imagine that's going to be a challenge, but it's so cool, people that just come up with this stuff and just go and do it.
If you're interested, look up spin launch. There's a video on YouTube, so for anyone that's interested.
Cool. Yep. Okay. Cool. Okay, another thing that we discussed earlier is the Lego Ideas typewriter.
Yeah.
And and I loved it, just the way it looked, and then I saw it coming by a couple of times. But now this German guy, Helter Steiner, he has built it and shown its functionality, and it's just amazing. It's so cool because not only does it look good, but it's got all kinds of functionality. I'll try and sort of go to the part where he's showing that. But first of all, what happens is if you press the keys, it's just one, but one of the little things
one
with
of the hammers
moves.
Yeah.
It's the same hammer for all the keys, but still, it's a cool thing that you can see it moving, and it also makes that sound that you sort of know of typewriters. So that's a cool thing. And another thing is that the carriage is also moving. So they've made a system where if you type, the carriage shifts a little bit, and it shifts all the way to the end, and then you have to push it back like the real thing. So they've got a system for that too. So that's cool. Also,
do you hear the ping?
No, you don't hear the ping. No, you should probably make that too. But just the fact that that's working. Also, you can put a real piece of paper in the roll, and it you can turn it around and it'll just be in there, and that will work too. All these things are just so cool. And I thought I'd just show it again, just because of the I didn't know that functionality was in there. And what this guy is saying, and he's always very critical about Lego, but mostly he's right. He says that most of the modern Technic sets are very expensive, but they don't have so many functions, or not what you expect from Technics. It's more it's almost like it's more about the creator's line than it's really about the Technics line. And he says this typewriter has more functionality in it than most Technics set that they make now. So that's just amazing. And I just thought, if you were considering buying it, you should probably do it, because it's really, really cool.
It's not just a static piece. It has a lot of functions in it.
Exactly. And everything's printed, so no stickers. All the keys and everything's printed, so that looks really, really good too. And it's just, all the technical details of it. And this video is great because he really goes into the workings and the details of it. And I thought this is just something that's worth watching too. So yep.
Well, not so much with this video, but sometimes he's just showing a small car or a house or whatsoever. And this guy makes it possible to go on for 25 minutes or whatsoever. On talking about what's nice and what's not nice, and so it's fun to listen.
I think so too. It's relaxing to me because he's very he's German in it, so he's very thorough, and he has a really strong opinion about it. And we know, he hates stickers. There are certain things that you just know that he's going to complain about, and that's just fun to watch. So Thomas Planke, he's got a little shop in Stuttgart. Not in Stuttgart, in Frankfurt, Herzen-Europath. And I'm always thinking, if I should probably pay him a visit and just go shake his hand.
Just go and see him.
Just see him and just buy something from him, just because it's so cool to just meet this guy. So anyway, so that's.
You did it with the Ludolfs, or not?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Did you? Do you? Oh, that's a good one. Let me just go back to this view, and I'll look up the Ludolfs. Do you know the Ludolfs, Chris? Have you seen that? You should watch that. This is so cool that you are thinking about that, Oscar. I'm gonna look it up. The Ludolfs. The Ludolfs. I think it was one of the first Ludolfs. What channel? Oh, Discovery.
Yeah, it was Discovery. Yeah.
Discovery did a show, and it was a show of some German guys. And I'm gonna try and look up something.
Brothers. Yeah.
3 brothers. And let me show that. And so it's German brothers, and some of their friends, but normally German brothers, and they've got a car. What do you call it? A sloperij, a scrapyard. And they have this really old house with this kitchen, and they're all sitting in this kitchen, and they're just trying to sell parts from their scrapyard. And I can't explain, but they are stupidly funny. They're like the German hillbillies, rednecks, something like that. But they've got humor. And they try. Sometimes they've got a car and they just old Lada or something, and they just go in this car and they're laughing all the time, and they just run it into terrain and then they crash it. That's one thing of it. But also just they have their phone call goes, and then you just hear, yeah, okay, haben wir. Moment. And then he puts down the phone and he goes off into this huge barn with millions of parts, and he's away for half an hour and the phone's still there, and in the meantime you see the other guys just talking about all kinds of stuff, and this phone is still there with this client on the other end, and then he comes back empty-handed, and then he goes, ja, hallo, ja, linker oder rechter Seite? Oh, linker, danke. And then he goes back, and then he goes back again. It's one of the things. It's so cool. Anyway, I loved that show, and after a couple of seasons, it got a little bit not so good anymore, but that's normally with these shows. But the first 3 or 4 seasons were just great, and then I was in that area, so I paid them a visit. Well, they were not there, but I paid the house a visit. So I actually drove by their scrapyard, and it was a real thing. It really existed. So it's just one of these things. So cool. Die Ludolfs. You should probably see. Maybe there's something on YouTube. Well, possibly there's something on YouTube. YouTube too. But this is so cool. Yeah, I had forgotten about that, but that's exactly right. Yes. I've got pictures of that too. So yeah. Anyway, so Ludolfs. Really good, really cool stuff. So that was actually a little bit of the fun things that I saw coming by this week. And for the rest, one other thing is that I last time, a couple of shows ago, I showed you my 3D printing things. The first thing I printed was this Mario. I showed that last time, but this was the roof assembly for the van, the police van, and this one was too short. Then I made a new one, which was a little bit better with longer legs, and then we still needed to put the other things like the speaker and the bulb on top of it. And I was thinking to make that separate or make it one assembly, and I actually made one assembly out of it. But the thing is that this is not complete because I made the walls too thin on the top of the speaker. So I modeled that too thin, and apparently the 3D printer then doesn't really make a thick enough wall out of it. So I have now changed that in the model, and also put some hooks on here so that it really grabs the roof edge. And then I think one more print, and this will probably come out really great. Just thought I'd show you that one. But this is salvageable. I mean, I could, if all else fails, I could just fill this up, and paint it, and it would probably be looking great.
Yeah, but I mean, just do another print and see how it comes out with the modified structure.
Exactly, I will. I will definitely do that. But
it'll only take another 14 hours.
Yeah, no. This 2 hours.
Okay.
Because it's not very high up, so it's only 2 hours. So anyway, I was doing that, and it should probably be there next week. So this will probably be where is it? Here it is. Maybe somewhere in this. this thing, and then have that on the top of it. So that's probably gonna be cool. So
Cool.
yeah, so that's a 3D printing thing, and the Mario. I think I showed that last lab episode. It's really great.
Yeah,
I did
you showed the painted version of Mario.
Yeah, exactly. And I did an extra clear coat over it. So now it's really shiny. It's really cool. So anyway, yeah. So that was my week. Well, most of it. So that's probably it. And now of course I finished the pickup truck build, the Lego pickup truck build that Chris brought. So that's really cool. That's on the table in the living room. And now obviously I need other Lego to. To start building again.
I'm coming over.
I'll bring the Titanic next time.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah. We could do
Titanic comes in 3 boxes, so we could do 1 box each.
Exactly. We just do 1 box each. That would be so cool. Do a group build of that. So. So yeah. Anyway, so that's all I've got really. So any adventures on your side?
Else on this side.
No.
Rivian are coming to Holland.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's cool.
We don't know what capacity, but
no.
They've hired 20 people in Holland to do something.
Yeah, it's so. I saw that too, and I think I don't know, but I know Tesla had a factory in Tilburg, and they never used it. They just gave up on it, and they never started using it. So it could be that facility that they're gonna use. I don't know, but maybe. Another thing is that they put on some stuff on Facebook and about this news. And a lot of people are very negative about it because they think it's ugly and it's really and then I thought, okay, this is the way the internet is nowadays. It doesn't matter what you put on there.
Someone always say the opposite.
People will say the opposite. They will think it's it's becoming more and more like that. People that do something and actually create something and make decisions and are makers will always be pulled down by people that just, I don't know why, but want to be negative, but brutally negative.
Yeah.
Not like, well, I don't know, I have to get used to this, or I'm not a real pickup person, but it's cool
that's why the first rule of the internet is don't ever read the comments.
No, it's just you get really frustrated about
Publish a video, don't ever look at the comments.
They're all assholes. I mean, why would you even go there? I mean, why would you take
trolls? They're
trolls.
They just say the opposite just to try and get a rise out of people.
Yeah. We all know it is like that, but what's the fun in that? Why would you spend your time? Well, anyway. It was just to me again, like, okay, why would people say this? It doesn't even have any bearing on what's being told here. They're just.
Do you ever watch Doug DeMuro's car reviews?
I've seen a couple. Yeah.
He's just done 2 reviews of the Rivian truck.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one, he went off-roading in it.
Yeah.
And he was on some off-road trail, and there was this rock climb, and he was sitting at the bottom of it in the truck, and this guy came along in this big super modified Toyota with lockable differentials and meters of ground clearance, and Doug sort of said to him, I'm looking for some advice to try and go up this rock trail, and the guy in the Toyota went, oh, nobody goes up there.
No.
no one's going to risk going up there. It's just too steep, it's too dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys that have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars modifying their vehicles won't go up this particular place.
Yeah.
So Doug does a 3-point turn and takes the Rivian up it.
Yeah.
And, he has some criticism of some of the things that it doesn't have, but he said, for a completely stock vehicle to be able to do this is unheard of.
Yeah. I think for me, those things are just what make it great. I'm not a pickup person.
No,
I am not particularly.
That's why we've
how it looks, but just the technology of it, the fact that somebody went there, that it's a real product, that it has so many cool functionalities, that it's electric, where we all need to go now. All these things just make me admire it, and the people that have gone out there and built it, and did all that, and that's for me is worth so much that I would never criticize them, or I could be critical about things. And maybe talk about this is great. That's another thing.
That's what Doug is. He's critical of some of the things that they've done.
Yeah.
But a few of the things that he's talked about are things that they could change using over the air software updates.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, he's like, basically he wants one. He's put a deposit on one.
Yeah.
And he said even with the criticisms that I have of this thing, he said it is beyond any shadow of a comparison the best truck I've ever driven.
Yeah.
And he said that's including everything that Toyota makes and Ford and GM and everyone else. He goes, no one makes a pickup that is this good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think
we'll see. I mean, if they can scale up production and start delivering thousands instead of tens.
Yeah.
That's their next big challenge.
Yeah. And I haven't read about why they're in Holland. I think they need some sort of a foothold in or a bridgehead, or how you call it, in Europe.
Yeah, they want a European foothold.
Yeah, and if they assemble or build stuff in Europe, the price goes down a lot because they don't have to import it as a whole product. It's all probably money and tax.
What would be really funny is if they take over the old Tesla factory, because Elon Musk has been super critical of them.
Yeah.
He hates them, and he hates everything about them, and I think it's because he sees them as a threat.
Of course.
So if they took over one of his factories that he never finished, that'd be really funny.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was not finished. I think in Tilburg in the Netherlands it was really meant to be just an assembly part. So you have more or less the chassis and the carrossery come over from the US and they just connected to each other, because all the Teslas in the Netherlands were coming from that point. And when you were waiting for your car to get
that's
it,
where it came from.
You can actually see the line in there where they were assembling the Teslas, but it was only entering the doors and getting the doors in and, and the wheels on.
So exactly, I'll read a bit more about this, what it is exactly, and maybe we'll come back to it in one of the next episodes. But we're interesting to see, and it's.
I hope they go to Born, to the VDL NASCAR factories.
Yeah, that could be so too. Okay.
Well, I have nothing else from America for this week.
No. I don't have a lot, although the Inter Merelbau video has been viewed 1,500 or 1,600 times now. 1,700, yay!
Well, like I said, you picked a topic people are interested in and put the right keyword in.
Yeah, so that's good. But okay, guys.
And maybe people will come from that video to the rest of the channel.
I hope so, but it doesn't really show. For some reason,
no, not the views, but we are up to 15 followers.
Oh,
and that was also, I think, 2 weeks ago only 9.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's cool. Okay, we're getting somewhere now.
Yeah. So
we have to be careful now.
Last week than we have in the last year.
Yeah, we have to slam on the brakes now because we're becoming too popular.
Yeah,
it's gonna take.
So now at the start of the show, we can't just say hello viewer. We have to say hello viewers.
And we have to be politically correct and not biased. And oh my god,
not biased. I have no bias on this channel that I would admit.
I've one to close up. One small thing about
the coffee machine.
My coffee machine, I actually spent time on it this weekend to dismantle it further and watch what was happening.
Cool.
And actually, I still do not know what's happening and what's the damage, yes or no. And I watched a lot of what is it called, online
tutorials and.
And
so
at the end,
you don't know what's happening, but you've taken it apart anyway.
Yeah.
true. And I got it today. A nice high pressure, whatever, een ventieltje.
Thingy.
What is it?
Yeah, a valve.
A valve.
Or a
thingy.
A piston or something.
Might be the thing which is broken inside.
Okay.
It was only 25 euros, so I thought,
let's buy that first.
Buy it and let's try it. Well, yeah, because you do not know.
No.
And if this is not doing the trick, I will throw the machine away and buy a new one.
Yeah.
But I thought, well, spending 25 euros is fine.
Yeah, and make a video out of it, and then we could probably put it on the channel.
Throwing it away. Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Also
make a video about trying to fix it first, and if it doesn't work, then make a video about throwing it away.
But we should pick a really cool spot to throw it off from. So we should probably go somewhere really cool and then throw it off something really spectacular.
I would just chain it to the back of the car and drag it through the streets.
Could be cool too. Yes, also a good idea.
We buy a Rivian and we just
drag it up.
We can do that too. Throw it off the stairs at what's the stairs at Kerkrade or where
Landgraaf.
Landgraaf. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Enough of this.
Yeah. I will. Well, hopefully next time I have an update if my machine is working, yes or no.
Okay, good.
Cool.
We look forward to it.
Thank you very much for watching. Again, subscribe,
all right.
Thumbs up.
See you next week.
And everything.
Have Formula 1 to talk about next week.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye,
everybody.
Bye. Comments.